Hello and happy Thanksgiving. I hope this finds you doing well. Yes, it is just a week away from Thanksgiving, and knowing the coming week will be full of activity and church activities, I want to go ahead and send this week as a Thanksgiving greeting. I want to share with you from our Bible in Psalm 95, and I want to share with you verses 1 through 7, which say, "Come, let us sing for joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation. Come, let us before him with thanksgiving and extol him with music and song. For the Lord is the great God, the great King above all gods. In his hand are the depths of the earth, and the mountain peaks belong to him. The sea is his, for he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. Come, let us bow down in worship. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker, for he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, the flock under his care." In this portion of the scripture, in God's holy word, we hear we're to come with thanksgiving, to be joyful and excited about how God has blessed each and every one of us, even in the hard times. In our Bible study this past week, we talked about the storms, and we talked about how the storms of life will come. There are no assurances or promises in our Bible that tell us that Christians don't walk through storms. That's just simply not true. But we know we don't walk alone. And we walk with Jesus in those storms, and he is there interceding on our behalf in prayer and walking with us. So even in those times, even in the storms of our life, we can still have joy and celebrate with thanksgiving. And with this coming week, it would be my prayer that as you gather with loved ones and with family, that you stop. Remember both the sorrows and the sadness of the past year, but also remember the joy, the thanksgiving, even in the midst of those and in spite of those. Remember with joy and thanksgiving the great things that have happened in your past year. If you find yourself alone on Thanksgiving, get out of the house. Go where people are. Make a new friend. If you know of people who are perhaps spending Thanksgiving alone, or maybe for the first time without their loved ones, invite them over. Make sure that they have some folks with them. Those are how we become church, how we become family to each other. So today I wanted to share with you, this is something Lynette Broderick shared at our Faith Community Nurses Dinner. I know you can't really see all those words, but these are some words that tell us about the legend of the 5 kernels of corn. And she gave us these. I'll put them up where you can see them. They're just simple little candy corn. And I'm going to share this at God and Me Time next week with the preschoolers because I thought it was so appropriate and a great way. It might be even an activity that you want to do at your own Thanksgiving. So here's the legend. As we approach the Thanksgiving season, the following story from Leo Martin's Pilgrim Pursuit of Happiness becomes quite meaningful. It was very cold for the pilgrims that first winter, and food was in short supply and had to be rationed down to just 5 kernels of corn each day. Now I want y'all to just imagine that. This is all you eat all day, except for they were really, real corn. 5 of them. From the ration, some corn had to be kept back from planting, so you didn't even get to eat all 5. And when spring came, the pilgrims planted corn and other crops. The abundant sun and rain surely helped the seeds to grow, and much food was harvested in the fall. The first Thanksgiving, the pilgrims placed 5 kernels of corn, so 5 little kernels, beside each person's plate to remind them of their blessings. And the legend says, the first kernel reminded them of autumn's beauty. The second kernel reminded them of their love for each other. The third kernel reminded them of God's love and care for them. The fourth kernel reminded them of their friends among the Native Americans. And the fifth kernel reminded them of their freedom in this new land. Just as the pilgrims paused to count their blessings, so too do we pause to count ours. At this holiday time of year, may you be able to come and find the quiet center in the crowded life we lead. Find that place where God's grace and mercy pour into your soul. And if you truly count your blessings, count them, you'll probably have more than 5. Share your gifts and be a blessing to others. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Lynette, for sharing that. I wanted to share with everyone, though, because my guess is that even in the hardest year, even in a year that's been full of hardship and storms, I'm pretty sure all of us have at least 5. And if not, come see me. Let's talk. Let's see about how we can work and pray and surround you with love and care in the coming year. Because it's truly as church family, just as the pilgrims gathered together, their strength was not in their aloneness, but it was in their unity together. So perhaps the scripture in Psalm 95 will remind you to give thanksgiving in this coming week. With joy and with gratitude, we thank God. We thank Him for our family, for our church family, to just live in our community, to have friends, to have food. Let's just think simple things like clothes and heat. I don't know about you, but we need some heat in the coming days when it's cold. There are so many blessings that we give thanks for. I hope some of you will join us this next Tuesday on the 20th at 6:30. We're going to be right in our sanctuary for worship. It's ecumenical. We've invited many other churches. There are other pastors coming to join us as well, and then we'll have refreshments afterward. If you get out to the Lighted Christmas Parade, be sure and say a wave, say hello to our UMYF students. They're going to do our float this year for our church family. I can't wait to see what they come up with. They have worked for weeks, you all, on this. And thinking ahead to December the 1st, which is a Saturday from 4 to 6:30, sign up, email me. I want you to come to this Advent church family-wide, just a wonderful workshop and worship, hanging in the greens of it. We're going to make some treasured keepsakes. We're going to eat a healthy meal. Nurture is helping with the keepsakes. Our faith community nurses are helping with the healthy meal, and our worship committee has planned a short, like about a 30-minute short mini, and a little hanging in the greens as we get ready to prepare our hearts for Advent. I'll remind you again the week after when I send my next devotion, but if I don't get one out next week, please know I love you. I love everybody on this list, and I pray for you when I put your name on this email, and I lift you up to God with thanksgiving this week. You all have a happy Thanksgiving, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.